this is Irina Blount from lalalandcrafts. I am back with day 2 of 18 days of tutorials event on our YouTube channel. If you're just now joining in, please make sure to watch the video from yesterday. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can join in and comment on each video to be entered for a chance to win one of 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. In addition to our YouTube event, we also have an event happening on our blog where our design team members post their projects and tutorials during this 18 days as well. Today's tutorial is brought to you by Christina, and Christina will show you how to make a really cute Christmas box. So make sure you go on our blog. I'll post the link in the video description below as well. Or you can go directly to lalalandcrafts.blogspot.com. Let me show you what we're going to make today. This is suitcase box, the trinket box that is sized to fit a gift card or anything else you would like to put in there, small trinkets, candies. I have a few samples here. I just want to show you that this can be used for any occasion. This was made for Halloween, as you can see. This little suitcase was made for the travel occasion when we had our cruise event. So it works for many different occasions. This was done by one of our design team members, Sandra. So you can see really cute here as well. And here is another one designed by Christina. So it works for any occasion. Now to start, we're going to be using for the box one of our newer dies, and this one is called Suitcase box, and it comes like this. You'll need to have the wire cutters and separate all these pieces, and you're going to have the main box die cut and also stitched sides. So you have 2 long sides, 2 short sides. You also have a little handle. That's what we have to make it look more like a suitcase. You're going to have this shape here is the corner. These are the corners on your box, and this tiny piece is a little notch. So if you would like to, you can cut it out so it might be easier to open the box like that. I don't have it here, but this is just to give you an idea what to tell you what this piece is for. We're also going to be using for the image this little mouse here is from the new set called, sorry about the reflection, called a Carolyn Wiggle, and he comes with friends. So there are 5 mice here as well as the sentiments. And the other thing we're going to be using is the paper from one of the new paper packs called Little Merry Christmas. Let me flip really quick through the pages so you can see through the paper, so you can see what the designs look like. They're all double-sided, and our papers are 80-pound cardstock, so they're really great for die cutting as well, not only for layering. And I'll show you as we go through the project. But here are the papers. I'll show you front and back, 2 of each. This is really pretty. And as you can probably see on the video, they have a little bit of the sheen too, so it really dresses up your projects. This is the same Christmas trees, but on the dark background, so you can create nighttime kind of effects on your cards and projects. This paper pack is very festive. Nice colors, nice and bright. And they all work well together, of course. And as you can see, you can use these papers for Christmas, winter, but some designs can be used for other occasions as well. Really like this one. Polka dots always. This is the one we're going to be using on the project to die cut the lantern. More snowflakes. And this is the other one we're going to use on the project for the layering here. Okay, so let's start with the project. I have all of the layers already die cut. So these are our main shapes for the box. So when you die cut it, you also have scored lines already indicated right here. So we're going to go ahead and fold on all of the lines. And I'm going to use my bond folder, and this is a required step because you want to make sure all of your folds are nice and crisp so your box opens easier and looks nicer. Okay, so I have it all folded and used my bond folder on all of the sides. Now, this is a little trick that I use when I assemble my suitcase box. Because both of these pieces are the same size, to give it a little bit more space, I close one of the boxes with the flaps inside and the other one with the flaps on the outside. And the one with the flaps on the outside becomes the lid. And you can, if you look closely, you can see this is where they are, those flaps there. To me, it just becomes the part of the design, and when you cover it with the sides, you can hardly notice it. But as I said, it's really kind of becomes part of the design and gives it even more dimension. So as you can see, one on the outside and one on the inside. So now we're going to go ahead and remove the backing from the tape. I use my pocket tool to help remove it. It just goes by faster. And then we're going to go ahead and close it. So I'm making sure that my corners are straight. So this is the one with the flaps on the outside. There you go. And on to the next one. So the other thing that I do on the bottom of the box, I pinch the sides just ever so slightly to make sure that the top goes on easier. Now, I want to mention that I'm using 80-pound cardstock. I wouldn't go any thicker with the cardstock, or I wouldn't use chipboard on this because, again, just because we need to fit this into each other. So as you can see, with the 80-pound cardstock and with the little tips and tricks that I just told you about, it fits in nicely and it closes like this. So now the other thing I like to do, I like to close my box before I start putting anything else on it, just to make sure that it doesn't tighten it up. Okay, so the box itself is done. Now for the sides, I die cut already the top layer and the sides, and as you can see, I use the paper from the paper pack, and it has really nice stitching on the sides, on all of the sides here, so it looks very pretty. And because the paper is on the thicker side, it looks very nice. Now you can go ahead and just glue them on and embellish your box, your little suitcase like this with these layers. I went one step further and I cut layers for these pieces. So I'm using just regular red cardstock, about 80 pounds as well, I'm pretty sure. And I'll give you the dimensions in the video description below for this piece, but they're basically 1/8 inch larger than the size of this of the die cuts. I'm going to layer this on, and for this I can just use my regular tape runner, or you can use double-sided tape, whatever you prefer. I think the red paper under really makes this blue stand out as well, makes it even more festive. Okay, the last one on. Now the next thing, we're going to put our handle on, and when you die cut it, it comes out like this. What I want you to look at on the sides right here, close to the hole, there are two, on each side, there are two embossed lines for scoring. So the way I do my handle, I fold on each fold to the top like this first. So I simply hold my finger close to it and then fold this up. So I get it like this. And then I'll roll over my finger to round it. So then you have this shape that now looks like, it totally looks like handle. And I'm going to use, I'll use liquid glue to put it on, and you can pull it away or you can make your handle taller, however you prefer. So just a little bit of glue on each side here. And center it. With the liquid glue, it gives you a few seconds to pull it the way you need it, if it's not straight or if you want to adjust it. Okay, so handle is on. Now to embellish it, I'm going to add a little bit glue here in those openings, and I'm going to add rhinestones just to dress it up, and it's nice and festive for Christmas. I'm using red rhinestones here, so pretty. So now the next thing, we're going to add the corners, and as I mentioned, this is the corner. When it die cuts, it also gives you the lines, the fold lines here, the scoring lines, and you have 3 lines when you fold it. So you have the little tab right here, and this is how we close the corner to make it a 3D. I don't even usually use the bone folder to make these folds any crisper than they are. You can just use your fingers. It's a pretty small piece here, so it's very easy to do. I'm going to put liquid glue on the little tab and then just hold it for a few seconds for the glue to set. And here is the corner. I made already the rest of them, so I have 4 here. I'm going to put the glue on the inside. And put the corners on. The next thing I'm going to put on is the star wreath. This die comes a set of 2. There's also a smaller one. We're using the larger one up from the set. I'm going to put a bit of the glue here. And I'm going to position it so this string piece is kind of on the top, a little bit more to the left. My 2 stars are here, and making sure that my bottom star does not extend past the red layer. So this is on there. Then the next thing, I have 2 of my stitched trees, and this is the same die we used yesterday on the white and gold card, but now I die cut it from our designer paper. It's actually, this is die cut from a different paper pack called Christmas Hodgepodge. I'll show it to you next time. But you can see how pretty they are. So again, I'm going to glue them on. This is the other side of the paper, really pretty too, the polka dots. So my large tree goes on first. About somewhere right here. And then my smaller tree goes on next, overlapping it. So pretty, all the colors just work so well together. The next thing, we're going to work on our lantern, and I have a die cut from chipboard, from yellow cardstock, and from red designer paper from the same paper pack. I'm going to remove all these pieces from the chipboard. This is the chipboard that we used yesterday on the card for layering as well, and we have it available on our website, on our online store. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. Today is December 2nd, and we are having Cyber Monday sale on our website. It's 25% off on all of the products. So everything that you see I'm using here, everything that I used yesterday on the card, you can get all of these products at 25% off right now with the coupon code CYBER2019. So CYBER2019. When you go on our website on lalalandcrafts.com, there will be a banner on the front page right there to remind you what the coupon code is. And the sale is good today and tomorrow. So make sure you take advantage of that. If there's something that you see we're using today, if you can't live without it, you need to make some little suitcases because they're so cute. So with these 3 dies, first thing I'm going to glue my yellow on top of the chipboard. I'm using liquid glue here, just adding a little bit. And I'm going to set the yellow shape right on top. Again, I'm not offsetting it, I'm just making this thicker for the embellishment. Now on the red layer, I'm going to cut off the full flame to create the open window, and then to make it as a window, I'm going to use a little piece of the acetate behind it. I'm going to put glue right around this opening. I'm going to wait a second. I don't want it to be too wet because it might smear. And then I'm going to put acetate right on top there. So you can see now it creates a window. And I'm going to grab scissors and just cut off the extra acetate that comes out there in the corners. I find it easier doing it this way than trying to figure out the shape before you glue it on. Okay, one more corner here. Perfect. Now I'm going to glue the red lantern on top of my other ones, and you can see how now the flame is showing behind the little window. Just creates really nice and thick embellishment. Cute. So now before I put the lantern on, I better go ahead and stamp my sentiment. This shape is from the long flags. I'm going to use the sentiment from the same stamp set with little mice. The sentiment says "Joy to the world." And I'm going to stamp it close to the fish tails of my flag. Go. Now this flag is a little bit too long and it will show in the opening there, so I'm just gonna go and simply go ahead and cut the piece of it off. Before I put it on, I'm going to actually cut out my little mouse because I want to position everything and make sure that we can see the sentiment and the lantern is in the right place. I have my little mouse here already colored and I'm going to fuzzy cut him. So just wanted to show you how quick that is as well. So first I'm cutting off any excess paper that is around the image. And then the scissors I'm using are Cutter bee scissors, and these ones have black blades, Teflon coated blades, and these are the best scissors for paper cutting, for fuzzy cutting. So I'm going to leave a little bit of the white border all around the image, and you can leave more or less, it's your preference. And as you can probably notice, I'm turning the paper, not turning the scissors. So I'm holding my scissors straight and I'm turning the paper as I go. Now our images might be intricate on the inside, but it's not that difficult to cut them out on the outside. I do have scan and cut, but I find that it's much easier for me to fuzzy cut sometimes than setting up the machine. But I know a lot of our customers use scan and cut. It's a great machine for fuzzy cutting. So now my little mouse is ready. I can line him up right here and see how he goes. Since I need to cut out a little more of my flag there, so now I can go ahead and glue the flag on. I think it's good right there. Then I'm going to glue my lantern. And since we're using the chipboard here and it makes the lantern stand out and makes it almost as a focal point as our little mouse friend, I'm not using any foam tape on this project. So I'm positioning my lantern right on the red layer right there, then adhering it to the star wreath on the back. And then I'm going to glue my little mouse on top of the lantern. And I'm going to have him stand a little lower, position him a little lower than the lantern so it looks like he's standing in front of it. So cute. So then the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to embellish it with a few of the sequins just to brighten it up. So I'm going to put just dabs of glue in a few places, and you can do more if you prefer. And these are white sequins, so they don't interfere with the design, but instead enhance it. And it's all done. So it was pretty easy, as you can see, but it really makes a nice little box for gift card or small trinkets and things like that. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you decide to give it a try. All of the products will be listed in the video description below. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.